You were just in Romania. So where are you today? What's
I
going on?
am in
You're
Romania.
still there. Okay.
I'm in Bucharest, and
Yeah.
but let's just say Wi-Fi is pretty compromised here, depending
I
on the buildings and the hotel and all that.
well
It's
that
yeah.
that is
Anyway,
understandable. You're also like 7 hours ahead of us here. We did the best we could to get this all figured out, but we're here now.
go ahead,
That's all
go.
that matters.
Yeah,
And it's so glad to have you here on the road to rock. It's been a while, so long, in fact, that the podcast was called something else, Music Mania, last time you were here. So welcome to On the Road to Rock. You are literally on the road to rock over in Europe in the middle of a big European tour. How's it been going so far, my friend?
it's been good, man. I mean, needless to say, there's been some roadblocks, some obstacles along the way, if you will. But that was to be expected. I mean, when I decided to do this run, it started in the UK. The first dates that I booked were based on the one-off. I was doing a bass guitar show in Liverpool that was booked back in 20, right?
Right.
So when it didn't happen in 21, 22. I got a, excuse me, I got an email saying, it looks like it's happening in April. Are you still in? You still want to be part of it? I said, absolutely. So we confirmed that. And then I said, well, I'm going to fly all the way from LA to England, to the UK. Let's get some feelers out and let's do some dates. And that turned into 10 dates. When we announced the dates in March or the end of February, boom, Spain came in, France came in, Holland, Belgium, and the tour that was supposed to be, 10 dates turned into a ton of them. And we're
Amazing.
still adding and changing. But to say the least, because we're still feeling, the pandemic
Sure.
in a lot of ways. So we've had some shows kind of get pulled out and rescheduled. So that creates a little bit of confusion traveling and all that. But I got to say, all in all, because I'm out here, and I think the label paid attention, they said we need to release this album, and it got released December 16th. Oh, look, it's starting to rain. So so September 16th, the album came out. We're getting on the charts. I'm working, 3, 4, 5 shows a week, uh,
Oh,
sometimes more, and traveling more than ever. So I'm digging it, man. I mean, I'm here. I'm a little beat up, but that was to be expected. It's just not easy what we do.
it's not, but you're talking about the album,
Excuse me.
which is just tremendous, and I love what you've done
Thank you, man.
with the album. I think it's especially the way that you release the singles. I think "Shoot for the Stars" is just seems to be a culmination of your vision, your artistic vision, and the things that you've worked on so many projects before. It seems like that you finally kind of found your groove here in this album. What was the impetus for this album? Obviously, was this sort of a pandemic based
Well,
project that you
no,
started working on?
no. I mean, it turned out to be that, but we started. The story is this: when Viva La Rock came out in February of 18,
Mm-hmm.
I was with a band called Dead Daisies.
Yes.
That album came out, Burn It Down, came out in April, 2 months later, and it just killed. It did so well in the market that my album, my little tiny little solo little album, got squashed and put aside, which is what happens, because I was part of this bigger entity, and so as we started getting breaks between the Dead Daisy states, I started getting invited. Can you come and play here? We love your album. Can you come and play here? So let's just say I did 20 something shows in 18 while I was with the Daisies. That set me up for 19 to book a lot of shows. Now, the Daisies were going through some changes. John decided to pull out, John Karabi.
Yep.
And so that kind of it stopped the wheel turning with the Daisies. So management, I talked to them, and they said, yeah, absolutely, go out there, promote your album, book some dates and the whole thing. Long story short, they ended up finding Glenn Hughes, who
Yep.
was a bass player, singing bass player,
Tremendous.
amazing, a big fan. I'm a big fan and a friend. And so they moved on. And what happened is between February and September, October of 19, I ended up doing so many dates that I got invited to a lot of festivals in 20. So the label said, we love the first album. You did so well. Let's take the second, the second option, because we have in a contract, if we both parties agree, we're going to do a second album. So they said, please take it. And I said, yes, I'll do it. So we started working on the second album, September of 19, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So you know what happened. We know what happened in 20. We didn't finish. We
Yeah.
started, and this album was supposed to come out in spring or summer of 20. And here we are in 22. Finally came out a week ago. And I couldn't be happier, man, with the results. So needless to say, that's another interview. What happened logistically, trying to
Right.
fly in and out. And it's just ridiculous the amount of work that went into that. But the results, like you say, the results are good. We are getting a lot of love and a lot of kudos, and people are digging it. So I'm happy. There's always, I really believe in this, Clint. There's always a reason why things happen the way they do. We
Yeah.
don't know how or why, but there's a bigger picture. And now I'm starting to understand why. The fact that the pandemic hit and we are out here at the beginning of coming out of that dark place,
Yes.
it's working. It's working for me. I think it's working for the album. It's working in so many ways. So there you go, man. I mean, it's like, you know, we're
It's,
here.
I do feel it. It's almost a tangible feeling, especially this summer. Lots more shows just that I went to personally, and it just
Yeah.
seemed a lot more like it. And it's great that you're out there, and I just hope that this tour goes well because the album
Thank you,
deserves
man.
that, man.
Thank you, brother.
Like Take It to the Limit came out, then you did the Shoot for the Stars lyric video, man. What those two singles seemed to really kind of catapult this thing. That was the impetus because those videos were great and the songs. It's so straightforward, melodic hard rock. You know, your voice gets showcased with it, which I think is great. A lot of people don't realize, what a great voice you have. It's like
Thank
Dean
you.
Castronovo, man. Like a guy like that plays
I
drums his
know.
whole career, and it's like, oh my god, he's in a band like Revolution Saints, and he's singing leads over Jack Blades, man. Like he's that good,
Yeah.
and that, I kind of liken you to someone like that, and you're really getting
Thank
that to
you.
flex that muscle, man. That's got to be a great feeling.
It is. And I think, like you say, the focus is the singing part.
Yeah,
People know me from all the other bands as a bass player, as a background singer kind of cat. But I'll say this, I've always had a side project as a lead singer. Maybe it wasn't rock and roll, it was funk, it was jazz, it was this or that. But I've always wanted to sing. I'm not, I would say the first, I'm not technically trained. I don't have the chops that a lot of people have, but I love to sing and I
yeah,
love fronting my band. I'm really enjoying it so much and I want to do more and more and more. Obviously, the more successful it gets, the more I get to do it. So I'm doing everything I can on my end to bring it up to the next level, whatever that next level is. We don't know these days, but
yeah, yeah. That's well, it's paid off. I think it's weird because I think the first time I really paid attention or realized what kind of voice you have was I think it was the full Blendl Nugent DVD that I had. And there was a bunch of different live takes, a bunch of different live songs. I think you guys did like a Fred Bear version, like around a campfire, and like
yeah.
you had some really hot like, and I was just like just blown away by it. So, do you think? I mean, do you look back to that time that you played with Ted Nugent as like a time where you were able to kind of because I mean it's a three-piece band.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
Yeah.
of backing vocals involved, right? So,
Yeah.
what was that time like for you?
Absolutely. I want to say that was a showcase for me, and this is why Ted Nugent is the coolest cat on the planet. And he's misunderstood, but that's
Right,
all I'm
I
going to
know.
say. That's fine.
I'm
He
with you.
doesn't care. He doesn't care. I think he carries a great message, and we should listen. Maybe the process and how he delivers the message could be refined a little bit, whatever.
I
But he
love it.
doesn't care, and he has all the respect and all the love from me because I got to know him personally,
Yeah.
and that cat. If, I mean, he's amazing. That's all I want to say. But anyway, so he was so cool that he started featuring me on songs that are considered classic Nugent songs that Derek St. Holmes used to sing.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
one of the
baby.
reasons,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, and one of the reasons, and I'm a big fan of Derek. I mean, he's one of my
Yeah, great
top
singer.
5, 6 singers, man, of all time. He's amazing.
Yes.
And every time I get a chance to say that, I say it. I don't think he gets it, but I mean it with all love and all the respect. He's a great singer. But uh, one of the reasons why I got the call was because we got on, or Ted got on the Kiss farewell tour back in '99, 2000.
Yep.
That ended up being one of the longest tours ever. And Tommy
It's still
Aldridge,
happening.
I know, exactly. And Tommy, who I had worked with, him and I hit it off so well. We fell in like, we fell in love. He's an amazing drummer. I really
Oh,
dig who he is too. So we're friends to this day. And he called one day and said, Marco, Ted might be looking for a new bass player. The cat that he's got is tied up doing some things, and there's an opportunity to get on the Kiss their reunion, because it was all the cats. It was Peter, Chris, and Ace
and Ace.
Frehley,
Yep.
and the boys, and Paul and Gene, of course. And so he got invited, and he needs a bass player. He needs a singer, a bass player that can sing, so it can sing some parts, and which would be interesting. That's absolutely within 5 minutes. Ted calls, and his calls are like, arriba, 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 ándale, ándale, vámonos, vámonos.
Like you said, it could be refined a little bit.
Yeah. But to me, I love it all, man. I love every second of it, because to me, he's a legendary cat that deserves all the respect from the industry, and he doesn't get it for whatever the reason, but I have it for him, and so he's calling, and that's how he introduced himself. Come on, amigo, la 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 la. And I've got, Tommy and I got this thing, and would you be into coming in and playing a few songs with us? And I said, absolutely. So we met at Mates, which is also yeah, a friend of ours owns that rehearsal place, Bobby, that Mates is world famous, man,
Yeah.
historic. So we met there. Let's just say we played for half an hour, and then he tells me, I'm hungry, man. You know where, we can find some Mexican food, some steak food. And I said, yeah, absolutely, man. So went, had lunch, came back, played another half hour. And then he said, thank you, man. Sounds great. We'll call you. So I left, and I get the call. He says, Ted, from his manager, from Doug, says, Ted loves you, man. We're going on the road in a few months. Rehearsals are here. Da, da, da. We negotiated. The thing was done. Before you know it, I'm on the big stage. It was, it was great, man. It was a blast, man. So he started featuring me a little more and more and more, which is
Yeah.
so cool, giving me a lot of respect and a lot of love. And I just went and I did the best job I could. But you're right. That's what catapulted me into, showcasing
Yeah.
my singing stuff. And from that, it opened a lot of doors. And I got invited here, invited there. And that's how it is in this business.
Yeah. And
So
it's just been
it was
great.
that tour, bro. It was Skid Row,
I saw it.
Ted Nugent, and Kiss. And it was
It was
mind blowing.
that was my first Kiss concert. I was only 16 back then. So
Wow.
it was
Wow.
Skid Row, Ted Nugent, and Kiss. It was here in Kansas City at the Sandstone Amphitheater. Ted's played there many
Nice.
times, but yeah, it's a big time memory for me 22 years ago. So yeah,
You were 16?
I was 16.
I think I was 20, 21.
Exactly. It was somewhere in there. Ted was like 30. So yeah, we've all gotten just a little older since then. No big deal. No one's counting. But okay,
Yeah.
so this rhythm section is so nasty.
Uh-huh.
You and Tommy
Yeah.
Aldridge, okay, that
Yeah.
you wind up forming Iconic. You released your album, Second Skin. Iconic is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
How did this come about, man? Michael Sweet from
I know.
Striper, freaking great. Joe Hoekstra, a friend of the show from Whitesnake. Nathan Jones. It's how fun was this to put together, man? This was a great album, I thought.
It was great, and I wish I could take any get any credit, but they called me, and Frontiers called me, Mario, who is one of the big cats there at the label, and said, Marco, this is during the pandemic when not a lot of stuff was going on,
Sure.
and so I was getting a lot of calls. Can you collaborate here? Can we do this? Can you be part of this? And this is one of them. And Mario said, Joe Hoekstra, and I went, and Nathan James, and I went, and Michael are working on writing some songs, and they're working with Alexandro De Vecchio, who's another amazing, talented cat. And They have a handful. They have like a handful of songs they're going to be finishing here soon, and we would like to have you. Would you be interested in playing the bass tracks? But I was approached as a session guy. That's
Yeah.
all. And I said, absolutely. So we negotiated. The deal was done. They send the contract. I sign it, and then they call me back shortly. He says, by the way, we don't have a drummer. Do you have favorite drummers that you like to work with? You live in LA,
Well,
and you have all the numbers. And I went, well, you know, and I mean, I have a lot, and I could go down the list. I have a lot of favorite drummers, but when I heard the songs, I went, this is definitely Tommy's territory, Aldrich. And so I called him, and we talked about the project, and I said, this could be a lot of fun, man. Let's, think about it, call me back, and then I'll hook you up with Frontiers. And he decided, yes, I want to do it. So then they negotiated, they did their deal. And before you know it, the album was done. So we didn't even see each other. I didn't
yeah.
see the guys.
Yeah.
But the music, when I went into the studio to record, I'm like going, wow. The singing, Michael and Nathan
Whew.
and Joel, it was on fire, man. And then Tommy, it was like, wow. So needless to say, pretty excited. Then we get the call. They're gonna shoot some videos. So we finally get to meet. And I gotta say, it was the coolest, one of the highlights of my career. It
Oh,
was the coolest experience hanging out with these cats. Mature cats, legendary cats, talented, and the coolest, mellowest people, human beings on the planet. It was so cool that I'm looking forward to something happening with this, to be honest. And so stay tuned.
oh.
That's all I can say,
I like that. I like the thought of
Yeah.
that. So for those that are maybe over in Europe that are going to check out this interview and maybe haven't seen you yet, not to spoil the show, Marco,
Uh-huh.
but when someone comes out and sees a Marco Mendoza show here, and you've got songs from this new album, you've got songs from a vast array of a career and solo work and
Yeah.
work with other artists. What does someone expect when they come and see you? Just a nice little career spanning type deal. What do we got here?
Well, I'm working on doing that. Actually, there's been some proposals for me to do next year. A bigger uh, uh, in-depth look at my career spanning, through the years. I've been in the business since 1935, right?
Yeah, I was just let's see, let's check. Yep, Wikipedia. Yeah, that's right. It's on the Wikipedia page. Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough and privileged enough to play with some pretty amazing bands, legendary music artists, singers, guitar players, keyboard players, the whole thing. So we're talking about doing something, some in-depth look at my career. But right now, it's a rock show, bro. We play anywhere between 90 minutes to 120 minutes. Sometimes when we're having a lot of fun, we'll do a 2-hour show. And mainly the purpose is to feature my music.
Of course.
But of course, a lot of people don't know my music. It's like spoon feeding, educating people. I play a couple of my songs. I say hello, and then I say, "Here's another song that I did with so and so," and another song that I did with so and so, and then I do another couple of my songs, and pretty much that's what it is the whole evening. But I got to say, it's electric, man. Every time we play, there's some magic going on. Whether we're playing for 50 folks or hundreds or thousands, and we've done them all, the pandemic has kind of crushed the pre-sale ticket situation. So people are still apprehensive. The club owners and the venue owners they get a little scared. So there's been a few of those. Lack of
Yeah.
promotion, lack of marketing, la la la. But we're
Yeah.
learning. I'm learning along the way, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that happens. But 90% of the time, we are playing in front of full venues and festivals and all that. And my music, I have to say, without sounding pretentious, it's so well received, bro. It's amazing. I just get chills. I'm going every time I get off stage. I'm going, yes, this is why I started playing music.
It,
So so we're spoon feeding the audience. We're trying to train them to open their ears and open their hearts and open their eyes and consider my music. And it's good music. The problem today is that we don't have the radio, we don't have the
right.
marketing and the promotion machines that we used to have back 10, even 15
Right.
years ago. So you have to do it. You have to represent on stage, bro. You know, and social media, even social media, you have to maybe agree with me or not. It's so pounded with so much stuff now.
Right.
You have to dig through all kinds of stuff to see something, you know. Uh, so it consists of three guys. I'm doing a three piece right now for a lot of reasons. I would like to have four when the time comes, and it's we're gonna get there. But right now, you have three cats. I'm very lucky. I always get the best players I can get. They're young, they're hungry, they're on fire, man. And right now, I have two cats from Croatia,
Oh,
Ivan Keller on guitar, who's killing it, and then Mario Lipoglavitz on drums. And before that, I had Kyle Hughes and Tommy Gentry. And before that, I had Soren Anderson and Pino Liberti and
right.
Nicola, some Italian cats. A lot of great players. But the show consists of three guys getting out there, rocking out, having a good time, and giving you 110, 120% whenever possible. And we pull it off 99.9% of the time, you know? So it's pretty memorable stuff. I always insist on delivering some kind of message, positive, optimistic,
I like
uplifting,
that.
because we need that, bro. I really believe in my heart of hearts that we need that today. We're going through some dark times, and people are very pessimistic, and we fall into that dark hole. I think our job as entertainers, as musicians, if we have the opportunity, is to listen, guys. We're going to get through this. Just trust that we are going to get through this crap. Look at the end of the tunnel. There's a light right there, and let's follow through. Let's fill our heart with hope, and move forward. And do the best you can. So that's what it is, and I think these songs reflect that as well. That's the message that's coming through. So you can expect a couple hours of a good
Nice.
time. I always get this thing. I always get this, Glenn. I'm not BSing. I always get Marco. I came in because I always do a meet and greet after, regardless of
I was going to
whatever.
ask about that. That's, yep.
He says, Marco, I came in, I was in the dumps. My family and I have been having financial trouble, and I lost my job, and la la la, in a pandemic, and we got beat up. But thank you, because I'm walking away with a smile, man, and I'm walking away being, there's with hope, you know.
Oh,
So not to be too deep, but that's what's going on, and so that fills my glass full again to keep going, you know.
I,
So
that's
yeah,
kind of what rock and roll is all about, man. That's sort of what it's done for people all over the world. And so
yeah,
that's
for years
amazing.
and years and years, to be
Yes.
able to let go for a couple hours and forget your troubles and just let go. Let the music take you to places where you wouldn't otherwise consider going, if you let
Yeah.
yourself go. And I'm one of those guys that insists on having the audience participate. I'm just one of those guys. I'm sorry.
You're sort of an
But
enigmatic person. It's a natural fit. You're great at what you do. And I just want to make sure that everybody goes, you can get the album New Direction. It's on the website, marcomendoza.com. Okay.
yes,
The marketing's been tremendous because I get a lot of stuff in my email, Marco, and it was about right around May. I saw Marco Mendoza in the subject line, and I'm like, set that damn thing up right now. I got to have that. So if trust me, the marketing department's doing a great job because that stuff's out there, and you see that album cover, you see the yellow, you see the colors, you see
yeah,
your name, and it stands out. And I want people to make sure that they go and get the album right off your website, marcomendoza.com, and the website. The tour dates are all right there. So what
yes,
more could you
yeah.
ask for?
That's it, brother. Good job. Thank you, brother.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much, Marco. Best of luck. Hopefully, we get you out here in the States one of these times and can meet up in person and say hello backstage. So hopefully that'll
Yeah.
happen
So
one of
where
these
are you?
days.
Are you in the East Coast? Are
I'm
you in
in
New
the
York?
Midwest here, Kansas City,
Oh,
Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. Nice. I dig that place, man.
You've been here a time or two, my friend. I've seen you around. I've seen you with Whitesnake here
Yeah,
and Ted Nugent. So I got a
yeah.
history with you, my brother. So hey,
Most recently with I think we were there with the Daisies with on the Kiss tour. maybe 3-4 years ago or something like that. Yeah. We've
Did the
been
Daisies
around.
play here?
I believe
If
so.
that missed my radar, then I have, let's see, who was the
Am I,
publicist back then?
I know,
Chip
huh?
Regary. That's who I'll
Chip,
have. Yes.
but it might
He
not.
failed
It
me.
might not have been. No, it might not have been Kansas City, Missouri. It might have been St. Louis.
Oh, that
St.
could be.
Louis.
Because I know you guys
The
played
the other Kansas.
Nashville. You guys played Nashville on that tour, and I
Yeah.
almost went to that. So there, I was a big Daisies fan. I got in on all that stuff. We had Doug on, we had John on, you. That's how
Hmm.
I interviewed you the first time, my man. So
Yeah.
best of
Cool.
luck. All this stuff, rock and roll is just a never-ending cycle of connectivity and positive energy. Thanks so much for being on the road to rock, my friend, and
My
we'll catch up
pleasure,
soon, my
brother.
man.
Please do. Peace,
Thank you.
brother.